Now, I want to begin by mentioning one of the most important and vital messages in your Glassdoor dream of 2 days ago, for its truth applies to the magical approach as well. That is, the dream was giving you an example of one of the main characteristics of what we will call the magical approach. Ruber did not stress this in his interpretation, which was otherwise excellent. The main issue was the relative ease with which you were able to enlarge the hole in the glass door. Ease is the key word. To the world of the intellect, a glass door must be considered solid, as it is in the world of physical senses. In other quite as factual terms, indeed in the larger framework of facts, the door, of course, is not solid at all, as no objects are. Obviously, that is known to science. Science delegates the world of nature as the realm of exterior natural events. Its view of nature, therefore, is mechanistic. The natural self, however, like the rest of nature, possesses a rich dimension of inside psychological depth that science, because of its own definitions, cannot perceive. Telepathy and clairvoyance, for example, are a part of natural effects, but they belong to a nature so much more expansive than science's definitions that they have been made to appear as highly unnatural eccentricities of behavior rather than as natural components of consciousness. It is also for that reason that they seem to fall outside of the realm of the sane. Such characteristics are, however, basic properties of the natural person. They do not appear very well under the auspices of the scientific method because the scientific method is itself programmed to perceive only information that fits into its preconceived patterns. Such abilities appear to be unpredictable, discontinuous, only because you are so relatively unaware of what is actually quite constant psychological behavior. That is, such abilities operate so smoothly, so continuously, and with much ease that you become aware of them only under certain conditions. You are aware of what seem to be isolated hints of odd characteristics. The intellect is basically able to handle many kinds of information and information systems. It is far more flexible than you presently allow it to be. It can handle several main worldviews at once, realizing that they are each methods of perceiving and approaching reality. To some degree, historically speaking, that sort of situation operated in the past when, comparatively speaking, now people realize that there was indeed an inner world of complexity and richness that could be approached in certain fashions. One that existed alongside the physical world, so that the two intersected. Certain approaches worked in one area and others worked in the inner reality. The intellect could handle both approaches, operating with separate assumptions. There were separate assumptions that applied to different realities. I do not mean to idealize those times. In so-called modern ages, however, the intellect has been stripped down, so to speak. Science perceived the spectacular complexity of exterior reality, but turned its sights completely away from any recognition at all until it regarded subjectivity itself as a mere throwaway project, accidentally formed by mindless matter. All of this applies to your situation, for I want you to thoroughly understand intellectually and emotionally the errors of current thought, so that you can see that our material is indeed provoking you not only with creative material, but with a more factual presentation of the framework in which you have your existence. In modern times, then, the intellect has finally been left with only one acceptable worldview, with one set of assumptions, with only one main approach to reality and experience. The acceptable assumptions, to a large extent, ran directly contradictory to built-in biological, spiritual, and psychological assumptions that are a part of man's heritage. The intellect does try to order experience to make sense out of perception. When it is enriched by having in its possession several worldviews, then it does an excellent job of merging those into meaningful patterns of sorting information and sending it to the proper places, so to speak. It understands, for example, that clairvoyant material is a part of the personality's overall characteristics, so it is not afraid of perceiving it and is able to separate such information confusion from present physical sense perception. Orderliness, then, is one of its main characteristics. When it is given only one worldview and only one group of assumptions, its orderly nature causes it to throw out all information that does not fit. It is almost forced to make an orderly picture, say like a jigsaw puzzle picture, while being denied half of its pieces. The intellect is not to blame. It does its best under those conditions. Now, in your dream, you are quite clearly seeing the threshold between physical reality and the magical dimension, which that physical reality has its source. You are being shown, or showing yourself, the difference in the rules or assumptions between the two. The dog's desire for food led him to walk magically through the door, for the desires of the natural creature are satisfied with an ease that has nothing to do with your ideas of work. What I am getting at is the introduction of the concepts of a different kind of work, very valuable, vital work that is performed at another level and in a different fashion. A prime example, of course, is the work done to keep each and every creature alive and breathing. The work done to keep the planets in their places. The work being done so that one evolutionist can meditate over his theories. Now, in your dream, you got the feeling of that kind of work or action. It is the given power of the world, the given power of nature. It is the directed force of valuable fulfillment. In other terms, it is, of course, the energy of all that is. The trouble is that the rational view of life has separated man from a sense of his own power source. When he has a problem, the rational approach to its solution seems the only answer. And often, of course, it is no answer at all. This marks the end of Seth Speaks, The Magical Approach. This is our part 7. What did you think about this particular passage? Please leave it in the comments below and stay tuned for the quiz on this one and also my video summary. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I am Tony Victory, a Wolf Uncaged. Until the next time, thank you.